Imagine you buy office snacks but forget to record it. The cash is spent, but your book still shows the money is there because you didn't record in it. Now the numbers don't match and confusion starts. In this video, I will explain petty cash book step by step in the simplest way. Many business owners think small cash doesn't matter much. There's a mistake. Petty cash may be a small amount, but it can quickly cause problems in your records. Even one small error can make your totals not match. When that happens, everything becomes confusing. That's why it's important to understand petty cash properly. Petty cash looks like a small amount of money. It feels unimportant, but this small cash is used every day in an office. Petty cash is kept for daily needs like tea, stationery, or local travel. These are small expenses, but they happen again and again. Buying tea for a staff or paying for a photocopy may seem minor, but they are real business costs. Petty cash is usually handled by one person to keep things organized. Now think about this. How many small daily expenses do you spend without writing them down? Most money problems don't start with big amounts, they start with small ones. The petty cash book helps record these small expenses before they cause confusion. It is a simple record where every small cash payment is written in one place. Nothing complicated, just clear and organized. For example, writing down the cost of tea or bus fare right after paying keeps your cash balance later. The petty cash book is like a small notebook used only for petty cash. Do you record small expenses immediately or try to remember them later? This is a small this is a simple petty cash. I will come back to it later. Small expenses happen throughout the day. Recording each one in the main book wastes time and breaks concentration. That's why petty cash book is used. It keeps small payments separate, organized, and easy to manage. Imagine stopping your work every time to just record the cost of a pen or a cup of tea. That would slow you down. A petty cash book helps track everything without disturbing your work. Not all petty cash is handled the same way. There are two main systems, the impressed system and the non-impressed system. Now, knowing the difference makes it easier to manage small cash. In the impressed system, petty cash is always refilled to a fixed amount. This makes it controlled, organized, and easy for businesses to check. That's why most companies prefer it. Non-impressed system is less strict. It doesn't refill to a fixed amount each time because it's harder to control and check. Most businesses prefer the impressed system where the cash is always brought back to the same fixed amount. Control starts with a set amount. That's the main idea of implicit system. You begin with a set amount of petty cash, and this amount stays the same. When the cash runs low, it is refilled back to the original fixed amount. This keeps everything organized and easy to check. If the cash left if the cash left plus receipts don't add up to the fixed amount, there is a mistake. For example, if you start with a fixed petty cash box and refill it at the end of the week, the totals must match. I will explain set amount on the next slide. The image shows how the impressed petty cash system works. You start with a fixed amount cash like $100, which is your set amount. As you spend money on small things like $30 on tea and $20 on stationery, the cash left decreases. Shown in the image is $50. At the end, you refill the cash box by adding the set spent amount back. There's $50 to restore it to the original $100. This keeps petty cash controlled, organized, and easy to check. So the total always matches the set amount. Watch your system. Even small cash expenses need proof. That's why vouchers are used in petty cash. Every petty cash payment should have a voucher. A voucher is proof that money was actually spent. A sharp receipt or a small bill can be used as a voucher. For example, keep the slip after buying tea or stationery. That small piece of paper becomes important later. Do you usually keep small receipts or throw them away? Each petty cash entry follows a simple pattern, so nothing is missed. Without a proper format, mistakes happen quickly. You always know when money was spent and why. First, write the date, then add the details of the expense. After that, note the voucher number and the amount. The total is updated step by step. Managing petty cash is easier than it seems. First, you get a fixed amount of cash called the imprest. Next, every small amount is recorded in the petty cash book. These simple steps keep everything organized. Don't forget the vouchers, they are proof of every payment. At the end, when cash runs low, it is refilled back to the fixed amount. For example, you start with $100, then $50, and then 50 to have, and then add $50 to have 50 again. To have $100 again. Do you follow a step by step process for your small cash too? Let's see how petty cash works in real life. Small expenses add up quickly. Imagine spending $20 on stationery, $15 on tea, and $10 on transport. There's a total of $45. When you record these in the petty cash book, each expense is written on its own line. You write the date, details, voucher number, and amount. At the end, you total everything $45. Now nothing is missing, nothing is confusing. The image shows simple petty cash I showed you earlier in action. It starts with a fixed amount of $200, the set amount, and each small expense like office supplies, bus fare, refreshments, postage, and stationery is recorded with the same date, details, voucher number, and amount spent. After each expense, the remaining cash balance is updated, and at the end, the petty cash is refilled. 107 dollars in this case to bring the total back to the fixed $200. This keeps petty cash organized, easy to track, and ensures the total always matches the set amount. Not all cash is the same. The cash book records all money coming in and going out of a business. Petty cash is just a small part of it, used only for tiny everyday expenses. Think of it like this: the cash book is the full story, and the petty cash book is a small chapter about tea, stationery, or transport. For example, your $10 spent on snacks goes in petty cash, not the main cash book. Do you keep small and big expenses separate in your records? Even small mistakes can cause big problems if not handled carefully. Common mistakes happen all the time: missing vouchers, wrong totals, mixing petty cash with the same main cash. For example, paying for tea without keeping a slip or adding it to the main cache can confuse your records. These small errors can pile up quickly. Have you ever made a mistake that caused bigger problems later? Quiz time. You buy office stationery for $12 and pay from petty cash. It's a small expense, but it needs to be recorded correctly. Where would you write the date? Where would you put the amount and voucher number? How would you update the total? Think about it and comment below. Let's see how you handle petty cash. Here are practical tips for small businesses. Small business can get messy quickly if you are not careful. Keep petty cash separate from your main money. Always keep vouchers for every business. Reconcile the cash weekly to catch mistakes early. Using a simple template makes tracking easy and stress free. For example, write down all your weekly tea and station expenses in one place. The petty cash book is simple, but consistency is key. It's like a mini ledger that helps you track small expenses correctly. Using a template keeps everything neat and easy to follow. For example, record your weekly tea or stationery expenses in one place. Small steps like this prevent big headaches later. Try a ready to use template and see how easy it can be. Like, subscribe, and share for more practical tutorials. Thank you very much.